I dated quite heavily when I moved to Berlin because also like when you move to a new city, if you don't know people, that many people, and actually a lot of my friends, my core group of friends or people that I've met are because of like dates that I've been on, but we've like friend zoned each other and then you sort of make new connections from that. So I think in that term it was good. But yeah, I dated heavily when I got here and I had these like wild experiences, which then became my stand up. And then
Mm.
people always like, in random places, they were like, are these stories like real? And I was like, yeah, I live in Berlin. Like, this is the reality of dating in this city. So I think, and I just think it's that melting pot of like different cultures and like this city has got that kind of Peter Pan, like lost soul kind of mentality to it as well. Maybe not so much anymore, but I really feel like when I first moved here, it was still this like very like, or maybe that was the kind of more like groups that I was kind of in at that time. But yeah, it was just like crazy. And the dating here is like so terrible that I gave up a long time ago. Like I think even like um was it like the beginning of the year and I'd just gone through a breakup and I just downloaded the apps again and I saw the same people on the app from like 6 or 7 years ago and they're like, hey Eleanor. And I was like, ugh.
Oh, they reached out to you
Yeah.
that fast?
Or
Oh.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or they would see me on the app and then they would like slide into my DMs on Instagram and be like, "Hey, what's up? I saw you like on," and you're like,
Oh, wow. That must have
"Yeah."
been so, like, jarring, not
I know.
jarring,
And then
but,
I was like judging them. I was like, "Oh, these people are still in the," and I was like, "Eleanor, you're still on
yeah,
the,"
they probably just got in at the same time, maybe, who knows?
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I don't know, but it was
Uh,
like it was just that horrible thing of like, and then I deleted them straight away again. I was like, this is not a thing. But I tend to like not. I haven't dated here for a long time. I think because I know I'm not gonna like be here forever. So I was like, I didn't want to like meet someone and then like settle down here and this kind of vibe. So yeah, I tend to do like the long distance stuff a lot more than like yeah dating
long
here.
distance
But I
dating.
mean, everything with me is long distance. To be honest,
Right.
like I'm always on the road. So but yeah, I was dating someone in India last year in Mumbai, so I was doing like the long distance from here to Mumbai.
What?
I know. And then yeah, now I'm like dating someone in London. So yeah, it's very, my life is very
Yeah. I mean, how do you manage? Because long distance relationships, is different from here than
mm,
it is in America. Like,
mm,
especially where I lived at in New York City, that
yep,
if you lived in Brooklyn, and somebody lived in the Bronx,
mm,
that relationship can't happen. It's like too
yeah,
far.
yeah,
It's like, all right, this is it.
yeah,
So long distance relationships for Americans in America is difficult. It's like different. It's like anything past an hour is like, all right,
yeah,
well, if somebody's not gonna make a move, this is it. But
exactly.
for you, you got multiple time zones,
Yeah,
relationships, and I
yeah.
mean, how do you manage it? Like,
I think like I mean, I guess also it's been something that I've done now for so long that it's kind of natural for me and in terms of like cuz like I'm always on the road so there's always going to be some aspect of distance to the relationship.
mhm.
And I mean yeah, like when I first moved here like if I dated someone in like Neukölln, I was in Prince Larberg, I was like ugh, like I was like I don't want to take the U8, like gross, like,
Yeah, it's like, oof.
so yeah, I think but I think I just got used to it and yeah, I mean also you need to find someone who's also willing to do it as well. And that's a big ask for dating. Like I know I've been very single a lot of my life like and that is because of touring, like it's very difficult to find someone who's also okay with you traveling so much and doing this. And also, they might have an idea of like, oh, you're like, you've got all these people like that want to fuck you after the show. And I was like, that's like, I'm a female comic. Like, that does not happen. Like, it happens more to male comics, but definitely not to female comics. So, yeah, I think it just takes, yeah, it's like for me, it's quite normal. Like, I'm very used to doing it, but it's just very good communication and having, yeah, like that in it. And yeah, just the other person that also wants to do it as well. It's
Mm.
like, which is difficult. But yeah, I think now like I'm starting to realize like, I'm compromising a lot more in terms of like doing a lot less shows. Like this year, I've really been prioritizing my relationship and trying to, yeah. And that means like less shows, which is
Wow.
hard because it's like something that it's been inherently in me for so long. So, but yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you want a relationship, then you need to make compromises and, yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I mean, thank you for sharing that because,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are in these situations in terms of long term. I have friends who also date
Mm.
people in different
Yeah,
countries and
yeah.
stuff.
I think it's a lot
And
more common in Europe, I think. Like I've noticed, like Australia, not so much America, probably, yeah, not so much either. But I do feel like Europe, like there's a lot of people that would go to uni together and then someone gets a job in Brussels. Like one of my really good friends, he lives in Brussels and his girlfriend lives in Sweden and they've been doing long distance for 3 years. Like, and
Wow.
there was another guy that came to my show in Lausanne, not Lausanne, in Geneva. And he lived in Lausanne and his girlfriend lived in London. And it was because both of them were like studying, like they were together for a little bit, but then they both got like, and they just make it work. And I think in
Wow.
Europe, it's, I don't know, people are so much more used to like traveling or having those kind of relationships, maybe. Um, yeah, I mean, not obviously not everyone, but definitely people who are, moving for work or this kind of stuff. Like it's, I don't know. I think I feel like it's a more common thing here that I've heard, but yeah, still not easy, but definitely, yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
I mean, shout out to Ryanair and EasyJet, right? I
Yeah,
mean, because like
this is it. Yeah, this is
them cheap
it. Oh
flights
my god,
makes it easy.
the amount of time, yeah, it makes it easy. Pardon the pun with the EasyJet, but yeah, I mean, the amount of money I've given to EasyJet going to London this year is it's a lot. It's a lot of
Whew.
money. So yeah,